Hey fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here, and I want to thank John, who's the first one here. It's nice to see you, and yes, I have to apologize. I have noticed that you were the first one here, and I was the one who was late, so my apologies. I did start a little bit late, but I hope you don't mind. And I do hope that you hear and see me well, but please, in case there is any problem with the audio or video, please let me know. Also on this spot, the usual, there is a time lag between what you are writing and when I can see it, so I might not notice your chats immediately, so please give it some time until I can read them and then I can react to that. There is a little time lag between the live stream and what you are seeing. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. We didn't have last month a stream, and that was because I was actually on a business trip. So I was traveling. Some people thought like I had some vacation. No, it wasn't vacation. It was a business trip, but still it was really nice. For me, it was the first time that I was in Sofia in Bulgaria. And I do have to say I did like it. Of course, it is kind of the same as what I can see here as well. It's like the post-communist architecture that we are having here. So there is a big portion of it around, but not necessarily really in the historical center. And that's what I did like on the city, to be honest, the most. So I did really love the historical center, how they really take care of everything. The buildings looked really nice. They have a lot of parks and a lot of greenery, and I really did enjoy that, to be honest. So it looked like a good city to live in. Might not be the same feeling for maybe people from Bulgaria who are watching this, but if I compare it with what we have here in Bratislava, in the capital, I think I liked Sofia more. And also, it was very easy to get around. The public transportation was really awesome. So I do have to say I did like it. So aside from the work, I also did manage to see a little bit from the city, and that was really interesting. So that was really nice. So that was the first thing. And the second, we do have currently like a first wave of flu going around. And I was yesterday in the office, and there were a couple of people who were not like 100% healthy. And I did already wake up this morning with a running nose and a little cough. So I do hope it will not be so bad. Let me knock on wood here on the table. So I do hope that it will be okay. I did start a little bit late because of that as well, because I did actually take a little nap before this, and I did have to get ready before the stream. I was really tired. It was a busy week, and probably you have noticed also I did start to post the vids a little bit later during the week. So usually Thursday, Friday now. It is going hand in hand with what I have mentioned in the video that I have posted regarding this changed algorithm. So I think that's one of the results that I'm trying to post, let's say, more qualitative vids, I would say, and because those need a little more time than usually when I work on those during the weekend, that takes a lot of time, mainly the script and the recording and the research and stuff like that. And then usually then during the week I'm trying to like edit and maybe add maybe here and there one information and check if there is some new change maybe on what I'm currently processing in the vid, and maybe if I don't need to adjust something. So it takes a little bit more time, and then I'm only posting them by the end of the week. I do hope you don't mind. I still managed to post 2 vids a week in the past 2 weeks, which was actually surprising for me, because I didn't think that I will have that much time, especially now. It's kind of like a busy period, not just like private, not just in work, but also privately. And yeah, I don't want to go into details, but I don't really have that much time for the vids, and still I'm happy that I managed to post them. So I do hope that you did enjoy them. And on this spot also, I did notice that there are a few new people who are subscribers now. now, and I'm really happy that there is more interest in the channel. So I wanted to thank on this, but also all the new subscribers, and I do hope that you are going to like what I'm going to post. And I can see then John is already writing, Soviet architecture is a blight. You don't have to tell me that. It's awful. I do have to say one thing when we are talking about the architecture. You know, we have these apartment buildings, these old concrete block apartment buildings. Those are a little bit different from country to country, like in the Eastern Bloc, former Eastern Bloc. And one thing which I have noticed, comparing it now to Sofia, I did visit a couple of other countries as well, like from the former Eastern Bloc, but here in Sofia, because I was there the first time, I did notice it. Their historical centers and historical buildings are awesome, and compared to what we have here, I did like it a little bit more. But considering these old concrete apartment buildings, those are more awful over there in Sofia, I have to say. They're just more ugly. I don't know if that would be the right way how to put it, but yeah, they really don't look so great. And also, what I noticed is that at least here in Slovakia, many people did manage to put like a lot of insulation on these, even on these concrete buildings. It did enhance like their lifetime, and as well, like of course their living condition, etc., etc. But we did manage to let's say use some funding also from the European Union back in the day, back at the start. And I'm wondering why actually the Bulgarians are not doing the same, because I don't think I have seen there many of these old concrete apartment blocks with insulation. I think they were like looking just like they did 40 years ago, 40, 50. So not so great, to be honest. So that one wasn't so fantastic, but the rest, I really appreciated that. And they also have, I think in the historical center, they have excavated very old like buildings and remains of the previous like settlement that was there before Sofia, and I do like how they are preserving it, and they managed to like build the metro, the underground metro. They built it around it basically because they found it during the excavations for the tunnel. They found these old ruins, and many of them are now very well preserved. So I do appreciate that. Unlike here in the city, in case you're not familiar, that was especially during communism. Many historical buildings were removed because they were building, I don't know, a new bridge and something like this. So the communists got rid of a lot of nice historical buildings here, and they really didn't care much about the history of the city, to be honest. So that's a little bit of a pity, I will say. And of course, the city center, or the city as such, is much bigger. It has about double the inhabitants than Bratislava. So of course, naturally, also the historical center will be a little bit bigger. So I think that was what like I noticed, yeah. Postmodern is a blight no matter where. Yes, exactly. So yeah, that was an interesting trip. I really enjoyed it, I have to say. And it was just a little bit of a problem to organize everything also back here, because I don't really want to leave my parents alone. I'm not sure if you know, maybe a little bit of a personal share, but my parents are already old and they are sick, both. They really do have a lot of health problems, and I'm helping them out as much as I can. But being away, I had to basically take care of somebody coming here and just having an eye on them. They still manage to do a lot on their own, so that's fine. You don't really like have to take care of all of their needs, I would say. So I don't know, they can still cook for themselves, etc. But yeah, it was not an easy feeling for me to leave them, let's say, unattended. So I had to manage for that as well. So that was also a little bit of an organizational nightmare. But aside from that, like I said, yeah, I really did enjoy it. I do have some of the topics prepared for this stream. I did advertise Horizon and I did advertise Exodus, but I did find some other little details as well, which I think might be worth talking about. And I have just noticed there is a fly here. So we did have unusual warm days in the past few days, and unfortunately there's still a lot of like flies and mosquitoes around, which surprised me because it's almost the end of October. That's not normal. So unfortunately one got in. So in case you see it flying around here, yeah, happens. And also, before I forget, the door behind me, there you know, the one is a little bit ajar because I do have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and I don't want to like lock them out. I just want to for them to be able to walk around, and I don't want to like lock them out. So in case you see some cats in the background, usually those are in the background, then just don't be surprised. I think the doggos are sleeping currently. They did eat something for the dinner, so they are now sleeping. But good. Let me maybe check on the topics that we have. Like I said, so we have a couple. Let me switch to the desktop. I do hope I'm not going to butcher something because I haven't streamed for 2 months. It kind of I can feel it every time when I'm not streaming for a longer time. It's kind of a pain. So let me just switch here, this one and this one. And let me go to this. Good, I hope you can see me. And thinking of everything that could go wrong with a Horizon movie makes my brain sad. That's actually one of the things that I wanted to start with. That would be the movie. But the first thing actually, which I realized, was what you can see on the screen. Let me just maybe switch. As you can see, there is from PC Gamer, there is a list of movies that will come out in 2027. And the Horizon movie is planned for 2027. And I just don't know, because if you look at the titles, live action Zelda movie, I mentioned this in the video that I made. A Minecraft movie sequel, Death Stranding, and more heavy hitters are planned. I just don't know if that's like the good idea of like releasing it during this year. I mean, it could be very interesting if we are seeing so many, let's say, game adaptations in movies, how they compare to each other if they are coming out in the same year. But I do hope that they are like planning ahead a little bit and making sure that there will be some, let's say, difference between the time difference between the movies. If Horizon does make the mistake of releasing something at the same time as some other, let's say, big name movie or game, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, they might run into the same problem as what they already had previously. So they were releasing, I think that was also the same for Horizon Zero Dawn. They did release in the year very close to something else. I don't even remember anymore, but for Horizon Forbidden West, it absolutely was like completely beaten by Elden Ring. So Forbidden West, it's not a bad game. And at least from what I'm playing now so far, I do like it. I have to say I like it a little bit less than I did Horizon Zero Dawn. But I think it's a really a good game, and it's a pity that it was released at the same time when, you know, Elden Ring released, and it was such a, let's say, big phenomenon. So yeah, I hope they don't make the same mistake. There's a couple of those listed here in the article, as you can see. Oh yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, I forgot that one as well. So there's like 5 huge game adaptations, which are technically like planned for 2027. By the way, they are also mentioning here the legal battle between Sony and Tencent. Yeah, is also another topic that I want to mention something here for that. But the they mentioned it during this legal battle within this document. So actually nobody knew the timeline. We knew the rumors that they want to release the movie, and I think it was January was the last time that we had an update or something, somewhere between January and spring this year. When we got the last information that they want to release something in terms of a movie, they did confirm it, but like there was no other detail, nothing. And then suddenly, because of this legal battle, they had a couple of people, let's say, testify and provide some information related to from Sony side as well as from Tencent side related to the game and in general to the franchise, because what they are currently trying to do is to make sure that the franchise as such remains unique. And they mentioned, by the way, that that there's also this movie coming out, so they don't want to like endanger the movie by somebody else copying Horizon Zero Dawn, etc. And it was just, by the way, stated in the files, and that's now how it basically got out that this is their plan. They do want to start shooting in 2026, and they want to release it in 2027. From what we know, the script is already written. So that was the first thing that made me a little bit wary. We don't know who wrote it. If it was the same people who were working originally on the game, then I think it has a good chance of being very, very well written. If it was somebody else, then I'm not so sure if I'm feeling very happy about it, because we have seen a couple of game adaptations that were done by, let's say, other writers from the outside, and they naturally had to cut down the movies or cut down the story for the movies to be able to present it, let's say, during 2 hours. And they didn't really, let's say, focus on the important bit. And we've noticed in some of the movies that it wasn't really well written because, let's say, it was focused on the wrong stuff. And that's one of the first questions that I had: who wrote that script? So that would be very interesting for me to know. That was one of the big things that I think the movie will depend on: the good writing, a good script, then the actors and the director that we have discussed already. So this is something that we need to keep in mind, that the movie is planned for 2027 because they already have the script, and I think it's just a question of hiring the right people. So they could technically manage the timeline. But there is also one thing which is mentioned here, and again, it's like Horizon against Elden Ring. Don't forget, the Elden Ring movie directed by Alex Garland is currently in pre-production. So if the Elden Ring movie is coming out at the same time as the Horizon movie, then again, I am afraid the Elden Ring franchise will beat the Horizon franchise. So yeah, that's the first thing that I wanted to mention here. Let me change the screen so that I can see if you are writing something. John is mentioning I might try Temu Horizon. Yes. The Tencent, the game from Tencent, I think they're currently working on changing it, as you have noticed, and I've also mentioned it. When the lawsuit was filed by Sony, then suddenly some stuff disappeared from Tencent's Steam page, and they actually removed everything that was resembling Horizon, because if you have noticed from the vid that I posted today, I did use the original trailer for Light of Motiram from Tencent, and it's really a complete ripoff. I mean, nobody can tell me that's not a ripoff. And they have now removed everything, and they just silently noted on their Steam page that the release will be in 27. And originally it was actually planned for 25. That's why they released last November actually the trailer, and they were starting to hype up the game because they wanted to release it this year originally. naturally, because of what's going on, then they had to stop it. And I'm afraid they are now like reworking a lot of the game in order to like avoid this visible copy pasting, because they cannot, in spite of the legal language that they are using and these legal arguments, which I also mentioned today, I do believe it's a clear copy paste. It's not about they are saying that they are just using, let's say, the tropes as everybody else, and they are using, you know, stuff that also other games are using. I don't know, a huntress with a bow and some machines, etc. Yes and no. If they would be really just using the tropes, okay, but they are seriously copy pasting. It goes as far as you know, details. If you look at what they presented in the trailer, there's even like this tall grass, which is very similar to what was in Horizon Zero Dawn, and also Forbidden West are using this like tall reddish grass in which the Aloy or the hunters can hide, and they used exactly the same also in the Light of Motiram game. There were so many things that were just looking like a complete copy, you know. If you look at some of the machines, it's almost the same. Yeah, they did change a little bit, some detail here and there, but in general, it's like a copy paste. So it's not about using tropes. It's really about complete copy pasting. So that was also what I mentioned in the video. Where's the line between like inspiration and imitation? You can get inspired by something and still make something of your own that has unique looks, and then yes, there is the imitation where you clearly copy something, and in that case, in Tencent case, it's absolutely clear that they have copy pasted, yeah, from Sony. So it's I do have to laugh when they are saying that Sony has no right to dictate to others like how they are creating their games if they're using just in general certain tropes, but it's not the case here. So it will be interesting to see the ruling, to be honest. How will they make a movie about the dodge mechanics? Yes. Okay, that was one of the other things which I have mentioned. The physical aspect of the game, and then how do you want to translate it to a movie? I'm not sure, like, how do you want to do it without a ton of CGI? And again, then CGI is relatively bad in the recent years. So how do you want to make sure that the fights with the machines look authentic? How do you how do you want to dodge the machines? I mean, it kind of it might look weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of the things which I have also mentioned, this kind of physical aspect. And then also it will depend a lot on how it comes across to the viewers based on the actress that they will pick. If you pick someone who's not really capable of, let's say, presenting this physical side of the game on the big screen, then it will just look weird. Maybe weird movements with some awful CGI. It might really not work out the best way in this aspect. So there's a lot of question marks here. I do agree. Death Stranding movie, 7 hours long and mind-numbing. That one was from John. I haven't played the Death Stranding, to be honest. I did watch a couple of vids about it, so I am having a pretty good idea what it's about. And yeah, mind-numbing. If they cut out the boring parts, it might be actually interesting. So yeah, that is also another thing which will be interesting. In relation to the Horizon movie as well, what is it going to be that they are going to cut out, and which people are not going to appear? Of course, you cannot have all of the characters there. So it will be definitely interesting to see how many characters will pop in and how maybe their impact on the story will be depicted, because you really can't go into that much depth in a 2 hours movie. So I do hope that they will be focusing at least like on Elizabeth Sobeck and Silence, because I do think that those two are very important for the story, and they help you help to explain what's going on to Aloy in their own way. So Elizabeth Sobeck through the wits, and Silence through what he found out. So those two definitely should be there. The question is who else and in what extent. So yeah, there's a lot of question marks currently. Let me go back to the stuff that I have prepared. Yeah, that was the article which I have used as well in my vid, which I posted today, and that is, let's say, citing some stuff from the lawsuit. And it's really, they're using really like this kind of weird language where they are just trying to find some legal loopholes and how to defend it from Tencent side. And I do believe in this case, it's if you look especially at the pictures here, I mean, Sony clearly has the right to point out that this is a clear copy paste. These are the original pictures. There are different ones currently on their homepage. And they have removed everything that was resembling Aloy. But if you look at it, like on the right side here, you have Horizon and Aloy. And on the left side, you have Light of Motiram. And they really started to do the promo with exactly this kind of looks. And there were just, based on that, many people saying that it really looks simply like a complete ripoff. So I think it was more clear what's going on when the information came out that they have officially asked Sony first if they can make like their own spin-off game. And then Sony has declined that. I think they were like expecting Sony to just agree. But what I find a little bit weird is the timeline. So they did have to work on that already a long time before they actually asked Sony, because they did ask them in March 24. They asked them during a what was it, a like a convention or something, and they approached them and asked them in March. And regardless now whether Sony said yes or no, in November they already presented this trailer. So they were clearly working on the game already before they even approached Sony. That much is clear. So yeah, I think they are trying to salvage as much as they can from the game, but they will now will be going forward and trying to save some assets that are not, let's say, such a big ripoff, but they will try to salvage something from the game and still release it. I think they will also wait a little bit for the results of the, let's say, lawsuit. So we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. Let me switch back. John is writing, I honestly do not understand how Kojima became a legend. It's like WoW and EverQuest 2, same stuff. I think, you know, it's kind of the discussion we had with Snackish, by the way. I hope that she will be able to join. On one of her vids, she made a vid this week, I think, regarding, let's say, why people think that Sony's games are all the same, and why people think that certain franchises show the same as certain other games and certain other franchises. It is basically depending on the topics that you are using, or the same motives and themes that are prevalent in gaming and in good storytelling. I do believe it's not always, of course, speaking to everyone. So even though you're using the same or similar themes or topics, you are creating a game that will be different than another game, and not everybody will like this particular type of game or this style, or I don't know, this somebody makes in RPG in first person, somebody will make one in third person, and people already have their preference regardless of the story. So some people will like it, some people will not. I do think that if the games wouldn't have a big audience, then naturally they wouldn't become so successful. And I do believe they were. So I think that's where, it explains why Kojima is so well regarded, and why people do like him and his games. It doesn't necessarily mean it's your or mine preference for the games, something like Death Stranding, but I can understand like why some people like it. Yeah, so it is the same as with some other movies or genres. So yeah, I need to explain to Snackish that the brownie is a Girl Scout, lol. Okay. Okay. I have noticed your discussion regarding the brownies, and this one gives a completely different context to your discussion. So, okay. I think it would be good to explain, but it was an interesting discussion to watch. And by the way, for the other viewers here, I will then mention Snackish again by the end of this stream, because I would love to point out her channel. So just for the moment, FYI. Yeah, let me check the rest of the stuff that I've prepared. And oh yeah, there's I just wanted to point out there is also a post. It is already, I think, from September, from Culture Crave. And here again, they were using pictures from the marketing for Light of Motiram. And on top, of course, you can see Horizon Zero Dawn back in the day when they were promoting it. And below that, you can see the promotion for Light of Motiram. So it's not just like copying the style of the game. It's not copying, almost all the machines and the visual side, and I don't know what else comes to your mind, the nature, the huntress, and whatsoever. They even have copied, let's say, the marketing. So they went exactly the same way, the same pictures from the same angles, showing the same stuff. Of course, naturally, the Horizon Zero Dawn is showing Aloy in the tall neck, and the people from Tencent decided to show their protagonist and some of the animals. But look at the composition of the pictures. It's pretty clear that they are just trying to imitate even the marketing. And I think that was one of the points which also Sony has mentioned during the lawsuit, that they didn't just use like specific assets or tropes, but they even went so far as to copy the entire marketing. And I think this one will be important also for the lawsuit. When honestly, if I would be the judge and I would be seeing this, then Tencent would have a hard time explaining how they come up with this without copy pasting everything over from Sony. Yeah. So that would be for Horizon currently. I still would love to hear your thoughts, if you think like there is a good actress maybe that could portray Aloy or some of the other characters. I'm really curious about Silence. I really did like Lance Reddick, how he was portraying him. He really, the role was perfect for him. And it's a question who's going to portray him now, and if they manage to get Silence right, because he was specific in his own way. So that one is something that I'm really curious about, because he is a ambiguous character. He's not really good, he's not really bad. So I'm wondering how they're going to continue to depict him through the actor. And then also I'm wondering about the third part, in the sense and in what role will he be playing there. And I do hope he will be still playing a role there. I really hope that they will not write him out. That would be really a shame. So that will be an important bit. And then also the director, who was it? Mike. Mike, hi, in case you are seeing this. He had a good point with Cameron, James Cameron, who made Avatar and Terminator and I don't know what else. He would be also a great director. I just don't know if he would be like interested in something like this, because I think Cameron is first of all, I think he's already quite old at this time. I don't even know how old he is. Let's Google. How old is James Cameron? Let's Google. Okay, so not that old. Good. But 71 is not yet that old. Good. Sorry for that. But I think he's currently already at a point where he's like picking the stuff he's working on. So it's a good question. Who knows if he would be like interested in making this movie. It definitely would be a good pick. So I think from the directors that the people were mentioning, whether it was Villeneuve or Peter Jackson or even Cameron, I think all of them would be great. The question is if Sony is going that way and they want to hire like this kind of a big name, or if they want to give the movie to maybe somebody who's not such a big name in the business. Good question. So yeah, let me check back. She's a great editor. Yeah, that's regarding Snackish. I envy her editing skills, I will be honest. It's a movie, so silence will be Pedro Pascal. No, please no. Yes, he's in every movie. No, I'm really hoping that there will be somebody else playing the role. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Pedro Pascal is in everything and everywhere. Good. Let me go to the next thing which I have prepared. Not necessarily the second topic, but there was something which I found out, which is also something that we just very recently discussed on the channel. And that was the EA sale. Let me just drink something. And just as EA was bought and became private, it didn't take very long until we have noticed something like this being released. This is from yesterday. And it's an announcement that Stability AI and EA partner to empower artists, designers, and developers to reimagine game development. The same is posted on the Stability AI homepage, and the same is basically also posted on EA's homepage now. What they are saying, it's written here, what they are saying is that they are partnering because they want to make, let's say, the development cycles faster, and that they want to focus on 2D and 3D rendering and environments, so that the game developers can, let's say, focus on other more important parts of the games, like the story and I don't know, the main characters and stuff like that. So they really just talk about 2D and 3D and the environments, etc., and textures and stuff like that. I don't know. Every time when I see this, I mean, it will go hand in hand for sure with some more layoffs. Because if you had a team, I don't know, 100 people working on a game, and a couple of those have been working especially on the environments, and now the AI will be basically taking that over, then yeah, you will see definitely a layoff, and you will see like cost cutting. And for now, I understand the idea of giving the creative people a good tool to work with, but that's a slippery slope. We seen already in some areas, not necessarily in gaming, but in other industries, how in the end AI is really replacing people. So it's not, it's instead of a tool, it may start out as a tool, but instead of like empowering the people, as they are writing here, it becomes their replacement. And I am sure that there will be a lot of people sharing the same thought. I will also have to say I am not a complete like denier of AI. I don't really. I am not really against AI, but to specify or clarify, my idea of AI was before it even started. I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. If you would ask me, would be exactly this kind of, let's say, sci-fi idea. So technically, what I would see AI doing would be, let's say, enabling people to do stuff that people are not capable of in terms of spaceflight, right? For example, or making sure that we have better and better telescopes, to see into further and further reaches of space, or making better, I don't know, in geology, making some improvements on how to find I don't know, certain oil or gas reserves. The AI can be a very powerful and helpful tool in spaces where humanity is not capable of going further than they already are, either physically or with the current technology that we have. I would never imagine that AI is going to, let's say, instead of this kind of like technical evolution path, that is going to go into this creative evolutionary path. And that's where I have to specify, like, I would really, and I think somebody put it really very well when I've read it a couple of months ago. My idea of AI was helping me out with the chores and the stuff that is robbing me of my time, so that I have more time to create and be creative. Now instead, the AI currently is being the creative one, and I am left with the chores and have to do all of that. So basically that like exactly describes my view on that as well. I am not against AI, not like many people are. Like, there's a lot of people who really don't like it, and I get it. Yes, it can be potentially dangerous, and we really need to make sure that we implement it with good safeguards. But it is there. The evolution is going towards AI evolving more and more and further. I just find it a pity that it's not evolving in those, like I said, in those specific areas where I think we would need more help, and instead it's like taking away our creative outlets. So yeah, that much regarding the AI. And like I said, it's very interesting to see the impact it will have on EA, and then also, of course, naturally on BioWare. And apropos BioWare, Jennifer Hale, and that is also something that was posted just today. So she was asking the fans she pleaded with fans to let BioWare know that you'd love to see Shepard return somehow. And I have to be very categorically here and say, no, absolutely not. As much as I like her as a voice actress, and I think she did an outstanding job in the Mass Effect series, I really like when she's like voicing the voice actor for something, because she's really, really good in what she's doing. But I absolutely do not want to see Shepard return. For me, the Shepard is done. That was the trilogy for. Shepard's story is for me closed. If they ever make the next Mass Effect game, and I already talked about it, then I absolutely don't want to see again the same faces. For me, it's done. Let's just go into something new. And like I also said already in one of the vids, the franchise is covering the entire galaxy over the span of thousands of years. Don't you really have anything better to do? And can you not just simply pick any other characters from any other like area, planet, or history or race and make a story about them? Do you have to go back to the same people over and over again? I mean, honestly, nah. If they do this and they just bring back again somehow Shepard, no, I'm absolutely not going to play that game. It's just currently I'm at a spot where I say, no, please please don't butcher the franchise any more than you did Dragon Age. So no, I absolutely disagree here with this one, but just FYI, that's just something fresh that was posted a couple of hours ago. Let me switch back so I can see what you are writing. AAA games industry is imploding all over. Oh yeah, Ubisoft is going I think they have like huge layoffs, and the director for some of the games has been fired, and then also the who was it? Gaming journalists, massive layoffs over there as well. So yes, currently there's a lot of people losing their jobs in the gaming industry, whether it's like the gaming journal or the journalists. Yeah, it could have something to do with the change in perception in society, I would say. I think we are all fed up by now with the woke nonsense, and they have been making that crap because it was sort of in, and yet they were still losing like millions of dollars, and I don't know why they still kept funding it, but now it's very clear that nobody wants to see such games, such movies, TV series, whatever. People are just so completely fed up. They just don't want to see anything anymore that slightly resembles anything woke. And all the people that were like praising it, producing, creating, and praising it are now currently losing their jobs. So I think it's like a cleanup. Question is, where will these people end up? So yeah, it has like everything. It has two sides, the good and bad side. The good thing is, for me, it's a good thing that we see this kind of cleanup, even though people might not agree with me and say, yeah, how can you be happy that people lost their jobs? Look, I also lost my job last year and I'm here. It's about the change in the industry. If we want to have something changed, and if we finally want again the companies to listen to the customers instead of making fun of us or calling us toxic, and if we want them just really listen to us and create games that we really are looking forward to and we want to play. And then also on the journalism side, if we want to ever trust them again, they need to change their attitude instead of like promoting nonsense and something that was really bad just because they got nicely paid for it. They need to go back, let's say, to the truth, and really start making journalism, gaming journalism again, where people can rely upon, let's say, a game review. Currently, IGN is especially a joke in that regard. There were other gaming outlets that also have been, let's say, a joke. So you knew exactly when some of these outlets were like rating a game, I don't know, 8 or 9, you knew exactly it's going to be some shitty game. And then if they were rating something, oh yeah, maybe 4 or 5, 6 was already rare, then you knew, okay, this game is going to be something great and people are going to love it because already they rated it so badly. So yeah, I think we need to see a significant change here, and it whether we like it or not, it starts with the people who are working there. Like I said, whether it's the studios or the journalism outlets, yeah. But tools take experience and talent, yeah. Shep is dead, yes. I mean, let me put it that way. I was playing the Mass Effect, the third one. I said I will never again play it without the happy ending mod. So for me, look, everybody has a different ending for their game. Some people have played only the one that the game devs created, and they had this nonsense Star Child, and then these 3 colored endings. Then I think they did change something in one of the DLCs. I don't even know anymore what the official ending is. Nevertheless, I think in most of them Shepard dies, and that's just not something I'm willing to accept. I have invested hundreds of hours into saving this galaxy in the form of Shepard. There's no way my Shepard is going to die, so I have this happy ending mod, and my Shepard is living on the Citadel, having a nice life. So for me, Shepard is not dead, but naturally, I also don't need to see another game with Shepard. So, like I said, there's other people whom they could make a game about. Games industry, let us snap Expedition 33 for the inspiration. GOTY devs might get inspiration from it. Now that you're mentioning it, I also did prepare something regarding there's the voting for Golden Joystick Awards currently going on. Let me maybe switch again and share that one. Let me skip Exodus for the moment. So there is the Golden Joystick Awards. I did pull up the articles that are mentioning like the categories and then also the nominees. And I found it quite interesting that when the first nominations came out, I think they were then later adjusted and some games were added because they were promoting games or they were putting games into certain categories where I thought, okay, no way this game is so good that it should be nominated. And then instead, they did not nominate games like Expedition 33. And I think originally they were like in just one category or two categories. And now I think they are in more. I think they did add them later. I'm not sure. I would be lying. I didn't really follow up on all the details. But I think that was at the beginning when they just started with the voting. Many people were pointing this out. They were saying, hey, there's a game that is out for half a year, sold I don't know how many million copies. I think I have it somewhere. And people love the game and you are not nominating it. And then on the other hand, there is YT that came out just a few days ago, basically. The game is not doing so great as the studio and the developers are trying to tell you, because I think there was somewhere post today, which I just seen, that they didn't sell that many copies as they were expecting. So technically, then even though if we look at the numbers and somebody tells you I sold, I don't know, 2 million copies, people might think, oh, awesome. The question is, how did they sell them? If you sell to retailers, it just means that, or if you are shipping just to the retailers, you don't really have the end customer buying the game. You just sold it to the retailer. And it may be sitting somewhere on a shelf, let's say, okay? So it's not necessarily saying really anything about the real sales. That's one of the things. And the other one is, what was the cost of making the game? If you're not having a return on your investment and you are just not having the cost coming, at least the cost covered and coming back in the form of the sales, then technically the game is not doing well, you know? So I think that's what people keep on forgetting, that they are looking just at the number, like isolated. Let's just look isolated at this number and see how many copies were sold, but they do not consider where and how they've been sold and what is actually counting as a sale. And then the other thing, what was actually the production cost? Did they actually get their money back? So as long as they don't get their money back, as long as you don't see like real sales, so long for me, it's still not doing great. And what I find interesting is to see games like this already nominated. I would say normally when I see nominations for something, whether it's movies or TV shows or games, if it's not, let's say, at least, I don't know, 2 months old, it shouldn't be nominated, because how do you want to know if really the game is so good or the movie is so good that people actually like it? It's too early to say if it's a hit or a flop. It's just too early. So why are you nominating a game that just came out technically a few days or 2 to 3 weeks ago? I wouldn't even allow this to be nominated. If the game is so great that it's doing so well, you know, they should have like a cutoff date, and they say, okay, everything that comes out after this cutoff date will be then counted towards the nominations for the next year. So even if the game came out this year, and it's, let's say, past this cutoff date, it still can be nominated for the next year. You know, that would be like, for me, the normal logical way how to do these nominations, but not nominate something when it's just a couple of days old, but because it's done by those people or because it's about A, B, C, or D. No, this is exactly how Failguard was nominated, I think, last year in one of the categories in the gaming awards, where I had to laugh like, oh, seriously, it's just a joke. It was already at that time clear it will be a flop, but still they nominated it, even though it was nominated just a couple of like days or weeks after it released. I found it absolutely idiotic, to be honest. So, yeah, it's one of the things which is I don't understand. I do have also the Golden Joystick Award nominees. So there are nominees listed, I think, here. Yeah, so I did find the nominees as well. Here, Console Game of the Year, Ghost of Yotei. Why? It's just a few days old. Why are you doing this? So I just really... I'm not so fond of this. And if you look at certain categories, they are like full of games, and there's like many games. Like, for example, indie game, and they stuff here a lot of the games inside. Only one can win. I think it would be better if they would, let's say, split the category, because they do have different types of games. So maybe also split a little bit the indie games into different types, at least like 2-3 categories, so that the games and the indie developers have also a chance to win something and not just be like stuffed into category with, I don't know, 10 other games. I don't find it so great, to be honest. So I will be sharing this in the description, then a link to these nominees, so you can have a look at it up front, and then also the link to where you can vote. I did post it already on the channel, but I will post it again. We still have time, I think, during the next week, until the end of next week. I think you have time to still like vote, and I actually did. I did vote for most of the categories, not all of them, but most. But here, for example, best storytelling, Clair Obscur, I see it here, but it's not really here. Best visual design, it's like in 2-3 categories, and they did add it, add it. Let me pronounce it better. It was originally only, I think, in one of the categories, and now we can see it already added in more categories. So I do see that they are obviously listening a little bit more to the criticism of people, because there was a huge uproar when they first released the first nominees. People were really angry that they are nominating Ghost of Yotei instead of, let's say, the Expedition 33. What got my attention definitely was the most wanted game. We do have some of the big names here, but also what I've noticed, First Light, Exodus, The Expanse, Osiris Reborn. So everything that I'm really interested in, and which I'm also talking about on the channel. The Blood of Dawnwalker is also here, for example. So there's a lot of games coming in the future where people are looking forward to, and I am happy to see that these games are here, let's say, nominated. Yeah. Let me switch back to see what you are writing. I'm talking a lot. And oh, Gaming Birch is here. Hi, that's so nice to see you. Yeah, caught the live stream for once. Hello. Talking about E33, awesome. Yeah, I was mentioning it in terms of the nominations for the Golden Joystick Awards, and that's just one of the awards. There will be definitely like the Game Awards still that we will expect this year, and I'm not sure if anything else is coming up. 5 million not long ago, one of the best games ever. Yes, the Expedition 33 sold 5 million copies, and for an independent, smaller studios like they are, I mean, this is a huge success. So really respect. Impressions are not sales, exactly. Also explain to me how E33 is not nominated for GOTY and Mario Kart. I haven't even noticed that, really. Where was it? Best sounding, best visual design, best storytelling, best... Am I blind or am I blind? It was... Yeah, okay, they did switch... okay, they did do separate categories. PC Game of the Year and Console Game of the Year. Yeah, good question. I mean, I do think it's still... we were talking about it previously. There's a huge cleanup necessary in the industry, whether it's from the gaming studios and the developers or on the journalist side. And I think it goes hand in hand with these nominations. You still see some of the games nominated which people don't even find interesting or don't like, but simply because the journalists were told that they have to nominate those or they've been paid to nominate those. So I think that's why we are still seeing some of the games, but I'm hoping that this is one of the things that will be changing. I'm not as naive to think that this will completely disappear, that there will always be preferential treatment in the industry, in any industry technically, for certain people or certain studios or certain teams. So yeah, it will be always there, but at least I hope that the majority of the games will be nominated based on really how good they are, and not because some company paid the journalists a little bit more than the other one. Yeah, John is saying exactly. First impressions are always best game ever. You have to let it sit for a while. I do agree with you. Yeah. And I also think that there are some games which maybe at the start, when you're starting to play them, they're like, okay, it's not a bad game, and you start to play it, and then when you continue playing it, it just gets better and better and better, and by the end of when you finish the game, you are completely blown away. So I think it goes both ways. So you also need to finish certain games and to see the story unfold to actually come to love the game. Yeah. Game Pass Play is not a purchase. Exactly. I don't know if they're actually counting the Game Pass into the sales. I don't know. They are not nominated for GOTY, but they have the most nominations. Okay, so they did add them, because that was the point that I've mentioned, that people were very loudly criticizing it online, actually, that the game was not nominated in more categories originally. I think they did add them now. Plus, the game was on Game Pass from day one. I was most impressed with Expedition 33 making Unreal 5 work. Now, that's what I've noticed, and a lot of people are saying that the Unreal Engine 5 games, most of them look like similar in terms of they give you the, let's say, same feeling. And naturally, I would say, yeah, because they're using the same assets. So there will be similarities in certain areas. I understand that, right? So, yeah. And also, I'm wondering how it will evolve with the Unreal Engine 5, because currently the games that are coming out made with Unreal Engine 5 are huge. They are very space demanding, and also GPU, CPU demanding, and it's just going into a direction where people will not be able to keep up with it anymore. And I don't care if it's now PC or console. It's just those are not made for it. Those are just up to a certain point. You can use them for older games, naturally for newer games, whether it's a PC or a console, but you hit a certain threshold where you just don't have the necessary requirements anymore. And currently the let's say evolution of the games, which I'm noticing, is that they're more and more and more demanding, but faster and faster and faster. And it doesn't matter if you have a console or a PC. I'm not going to buy a PC now every 2 or 3 years just because I want to play the newest games. Nah, seriously, if they don't do something with this, then I just don't care. I will not play those games, at least not the newest ones. And maybe I will play them when I buy then a new PC. Because currently I'm still having a good PC that's still working. It's still capable of running some of the newer games. I'm happy with it. There's nothing wrong with the PC. I can still improve it. I can do something with it, and I can, I don't know, buy a new GPU, CPU, whatever. But I'm not going to invest in a ton of new hardware just because somebody made a game with Unreal Engine 5 that is so demanding that it's not technically doable anymore for a computer that's older than, I don't know, 3 years. I mean, that's nonsense. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they are going to change something on these, let's say, demands that the Unreal Engine 5 games have on the hardware and software. Also true, it was running great. John is saying bad facial animations. Gosh, yes, look at the size of the Oblivion remake. Yes. The moment you are making like a smaller game, which is, I think Mafia is the Old Country is a good example for me. It is not an open world game. It's a linear game that is not that long and has still, for me, I barely fulfilled the minimum requirements in order to be able to run it. And my PC is not that bad and not that old. So that was, for me, a good thing on the Mafia, the Old Country game, that at least it wasn't an open world game and it wasn't so demanding on the space and on the PC. But I can imagine that, for example, Horizon 3, if they are making the Horizon 3 a game, good, they are not using Unreal Engine 5. They have their own in-house engine. But still, if they are making the game again open world and the same or similar way how they did Horizon Forbidden West, then yeah, I will be having troubles in running it because it's so demanding already. I don't know how the other people like think about it, what you think about it, but it's not necessarily a question of money. I would say I don't have a problem to like buy something new just to improve the PC. I just don't have the need, or I don't see the need to, let's say, throw out something. I'm not going to throw it out, but you get my meaning, right? So what I mean, I'm not going to stop using something that's still good just because somebody is offering me something that the current device is not capable of, let's say, keeping up with anymore. It's a waste. For me, it's a waste of materials and everything. I don't know how to put it. Like, I know it will sound awful. This is corporate speak, but this sustainability, it's on my mind. Like we used to have in the good old days. Now I will sound really old. You bought a fridge and you could use the fridge for I don't know how long, and then it was working fine. You bought a TV and it was working fine for many, many years, and it was fine because like you didn't really see the need to buy something new until that one was like really completely broken. Currently, the way how this development is in the society is like always buy something more new, and we are already producing so much garbage. No, why? I just don't want to like stop using my old PC just because you now show me the newest graphics card and the newest game needs to run on the newest graphics card. Pff, no. Yeah. John is saying, my rig runs Baldur's Gate 3 at max settings, not buying a new one for slop optimization by devs. Yeah. And Gaming Birch is saying, hardware manufacturers just think we have bottomless pockets to buy top of the line every 2 years. Yeah, it's that, and it's also not that. I mean, if you have a PC, technically you don't really have to buy like a completely new PC. You can just change parts. Still, those cost a bit, but you don't have to buy a new one. For me, it's rather, let's say, this really like this sustainability, this ecological point of view. I am not saying I'm really like into this save the planet, Greenpeace stuff, but it does make you think, and I really don't like to like throw out things that are still working or just discard things that are still perfectly fine and working. I just don't like this. It doesn't matter if I now have the money or don't have the money for something new. It's not a question of for me for the money, but why should I get rid of something that's still working fine? Every generation has some new tech that is becoming required to run games at decent FPS. Yeah. Which is making me wonder, because look at Witcher 3 is a great example. Look at Witcher 3. It had awesome graphics. Of course, it's not on par with the newest Unreal Engine 5, but it still had fantastic graphics, and I would be absolutely happy with those graphics also in newer games. And it wasn't so demanding on the PC, neither was it so demanding on the like hardware, software, space. I didn't need an SSD to run the game. Now for everything you need an SSD, and the bigger the better. So the newer games, when I have seen it, like, yeah, you need an SSD that had at least like 2 terabytes. What the hell? Are you crazy? So the demands are just growing endlessly, and I find it absolutely ridiculous, right? So yeah. Witcher 3 looks awesome even today. Yeah, that's exactly my point. It's a great game, and that was by far not so demanding on the PC, whether it was hardware and software or the the space requirements than what we see currently. And sometimes we see currently like much smaller games with much less content that are more demanding than Witcher 3. I would rather. Like, I would really rather stick with Witcher 3 settings and Witcher 3, the graphics and the requirements, and just keep it that way. And I don't need to see, like, I think I've also mentioned it somewhere, I don't need to see every single leaf on a tree in a game. I don't care about this kind of details. I care about the story, and I can find something visually pleasing without seeing, I don't know, every pore on somebody's face in a game. So I think it's just over the top. So yeah, my point of view, but I think a lot of people do agree as well. Witcher 4 is gonna be a monster to run. That's from John. Honestly, at this point, I'm not really that much interested, so I don't know if it will be even possible for my PC to run. But even if I plan to buy and run it sometime later, definitely not when it comes out, I can tell you that much. I will be thinking twice if I want to buy a new PC because of that or not. It's not necessarily something that that would be a game that I would be willing to buy a new PC for. For me, the rather more important question will be Exodus. It will be the Expanse Osiris Reborn. I don't know, the 007 First Light. Those are the games that I'm interested in. And if those need something better than what I have, then yeah, I will most probably invest in that and buy it, because that's a good motivation. But aside from those games, if I'm still able to run those games with the current PC, nah, I'm not going to buy something new. My Skyrim looks great today. Sorry, that's my anti-track. My Skyrim looks great today. Modders optimize. Yeah. And I think it's also because it's an older game. It's not so demanding on the PC. Gaming Birch is saying, recently I have a ton of fun with Voin. I haven't heard about that one, to be honest. It looks like a PS2 era game, but it's an awesome game. Perfect example that games don't need perfect graphics to be fun. I agree with you. I, for example, from the Witcher series, I would be hard pressed to say whether I like Witcher 2 or Witcher 3 more. And if you think about the Witcher 2, and if you have seen it from a graphics point of view, it's not on par with Witcher 3 naturally, and it's not having the best graphics, but still I love the game, even with the graphics that it has, and I really love to play the game and replay it 100 times. So like you were saying, you don't need the games to have perfect graphics. Let me go back a little bit to the topics which I have. So that was for the golden joystick, and also the last thing I wanted to point out in relation to that. So there will be I think they will be like picking the top most voted games from the categories that we have seen, and then they will have another voting open between November the 3rd and November 7th for the ultimate game of the year, and I'm really looking forward to that one. I want to see like which games make it to this ultimate game of the year, and then they will be revealing the winners in a live show on November 20th. So there's something to look forward to in November, and I will be definitely making a video about it. Sorry, I have to bring something. So I will be definitely making a video about this about these awards. Probably not going to stream those. I don't think so. Although November 20th, it's around the end of the month where I usually do a stream. But I'm not sure how taxing it would be on my connection, to be honest, because it would be streaming the show and then at the same time also streaming my input. So might do a test run on something else that I would be streaming. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I'm still a little bit cautious in my streams regarding the demands on the broadband. I don't know how much I can or I'm able to stream without like having time lags or cutting off the stream and good audio and video. It does make sense to stream something just for the sake of streaming if you have shitty audio or video quality. So yeah, so that was what I wanted to mention for the Golden Joystick Awards. And then we also talked already about The Witcher, and I just wanted to point out there was, I think this is also already older from May still, that was the original date when they released the information that they will make a cross-platform mod support, so it will be also not just for PC but also for the consoles. But then they did an update in September, on September 25th, and they have just announced that they are going to postpone the rollout until 2026. So just FYI, in case you have missed this one and you were looking forward to it, it's currently postponed. So I'm still wondering about The Witcher 3. There was also a talk about a new DLC, which was surprising for me because the game is like 10 years old, more than 10. And they are now planning to do a DLC. So I'm wondering like what it's going to be about. Again, if it's going to explain to us, the players, how in spite of our original choice in the original third game, no matter what you have chosen, Ciri is now a Witcher. So in case the DLC is going to explain to me how my choice was wrong and Ciri is a Witcher, then I'm definitely not going to play that DLC. I will say it right away. So yeah, that's the main beef I have with The Witcher 4. It's not Ciri as such. I already said that, and I will just reiterate it. I really like her as a character. They do like her as the original character that she is, and for me, Ciri is not a Witcher. And making her one is nonsense for me. So yeah, that much for The Witcher. Let me check back with what you are writing in the chat. John is saying original Guild Wars looked great with simpler graphics. Streaming those shows is asking for copyright strikes. Yeah, that's the... I mean, I'm not monetized, so I don't care. I mean, that's the nice thing. I think I have like... It's not a strike. There's a difference, like a copyright claim and a strike, I think. So if you have just a copyright claim that you are just being informed, I don't know, for example, using... a little portion of some music somewhere in the background, and the video is being like hit with this copyright claim, then the claim is basically just telling you, yeah, if you are making any money with the vid, you are not going to make any money with the vid because all of the money is going to the original creator of the music or whatever. But it's not like a strike for your channel, so it's not having a negative impact on your channel in the sense that you are going to lose your channel or something, or that the video gets deleted. Then there is the copyright strike, which is basically already, yes, you either remove the video now or the audio or video portion, which is basically being copyrighted. Or you are going to lose the vid, and in case you are like repeating this, I think 2-3 times, then when you have like 2-3 strikes, then yes, you are going to lose your entire channel. So you have to be careful with that, yes. But most of the time I do think I have like 90%, 95% of my vids are having like no restrictions and no copyrights on anything. I'm really careful about that. But I did already make some videos where I was using, for example, that was my surprise, the trailer for Dragon Age Inquisition is copyrighted. You cannot use the trailer in any of your vids. You can use any other trailers from any other games. I don't think I've ever seen a trailer copyrighted, but the trailer for Dragon Age Inquisition is copyrighted. And I do think I did use like very small portion of it once in a video when I was talking about the whole franchise. And I was showing all of the trailers and I got a copyright claim for, I don't know, the 6 or 7 seconds that I was using that portion of the trailer. So that was for me like, what? So yeah, I do have a couple of vids, but because I'm not monetized, and even if I get monetized, it's just a ridiculous amount, so they can have the money from that video. I don't really care. It's it doesn't have like so many views and so much watch time, so they can have it. I don't care, right? So that's like the most common thing which I see. But like I said, I'm pretty careful about that. So yeah, but you are right in that regard, that if you are having a show, and I think, yes, I did one vid last year about the Game Awards, and the Game Awards, when they were presenting some of the vids, I think they had some of the games, they had some music run in the background, and certain portions of that music was like copyrighted as well. So when I was creating the vid about the winners of the Game Awards, unfortunately I had there a couple of seconds when they were announcing the winner, and it was announced with that music in the background, and I got like a copyright claim for that small part, like 5-6 seconds. So yeah, but again, I'm not monetized, I don't really care. So, but yeah. Yet everyone does it. That's from Gaming Birch, and get strikes, lol. Music mostly, yeah, but I'm careful with music. I have now figured out which music works as a background music. I will tell you a little bit about that as well, but I just want to go through the chat. Gaming Birch is saying, I listened to some lawyer explaining that even streaming a game is legally copyright infringement, but if you are stating, and actually most of the companies who are creating games have it specifically in their, you have to look for the, what's it called? There's like creator support. There's always sections in their, in some of the legal documentation which you can find on their pages. There is always a section that's like for creators. And they are specifically talking about like YouTube creators who are making videos about the game and are streaming it or whatever. Well, technically, look, they don't want to copyright those, even though you shouldn't, but they don't want to hit people with the copyrights because they are happy that somebody basically makes for them marketing for free. Whenever you stream the game, whenever you talk about it, you make a review or something, you are marketing their game. So naturally, they don't want to hit people with copyright claims, because when this gets known between the creators, people will stop making videos about it, and then your brand or your studio will have a bad name between the creators. So they are not going to do that. But what it's important, and I think that's what I've read also, is to have this kind of disclaimer. Some people say it's no longer needed because naturally it is somewhere in the like user licensing or something like that, that's somewhere written that you can use the game for these purposes. I don't know, for streaming on YouTube, or you can make a vid about it, right? So naturally, people say that a separate disclaimer is not necessary, but then I heard some lawyers saying it's still good if you do the disclaimer, because in that disclaimer, usually it's good to, if you have the link, to link directly to where it's saying that you are able to stream the game or make or use the content. So in case you have the link, just use it for the disclaimer and then you should be fine. So yes, it is copyrighted material, but with YouTube, it is a little bit, let's say, they are lax and they just want to have this kind of marketing for free. So you don't get any copyright strikes or claims because of games. Not all of them, though. I do know that there are some which you cannot put on YouTube. So, but those are like the really minority. Playable, sorry, John is saying, playable series is pure fan service. Yes, I completely agree with you. There's nothing more to say to that. A lot of Soul stuff is basically free use. And Olivia is here. Oh, hey, thank you for joining in. I was so looking forward for you to join. Really, it's so nice to see you on the stream. So guys, just FYI, Olivia was there commenting on every single Mafia playthrough with, and Olivia, I haven't forgotten the game, don't worry. I'm like still recording it in the meantime, and then I will post all the vids, so you will see the playthrough finished. So yeah, I'm really happy that you have joined. So it's so nice to see you here. But let me go back a little bit to the discussion. Gaming Birch is saying, speaking of monetization, how close are you to the 4K? How's that? Do you really want to know? Okay, I mentioned it in the bit I meant about the, let's say, personal update. So by the end of last year and start of this year, I was at 3,800 hours. And I was like wondering, okay, 200 is not so much anymore, but as you know, the monetization requirement is like they are looking at the last 365 days, which means that if you have made a vid that's already 367 days old, the views from the original first 2 days will not be counted anymore. So you naturally have older vids which like run out of this 365 days view. So it's not like a cumulative for the entirety of the channel. It's really just the last 365 games. And I ran into the problem that I've made very watched videos, highly watched videos in January 24. That was the modding guide for Mass Effect Andromeda, and then there was also the review for Horizon Zero Dawn, which got like 12,000 views by now, which is like the top vid on my channel. And also the modding guide is, and the Horizon has like 9 or 10k views, something like that. Look and watch. So unfortunately, I've lost in January this year most of the hours from that. And then it started to go downhill because the algorithm has changed. And then also last year in summer and around this time, like September, October, November, the fail guard was released, and there was a huge viewership for the videos which were related to Dragon Age. So I did see a spike in views on those vids, even on like the reviews for Dragon Age, which I did. So that was awesome. But again, I have now run out of these 365 days. So currently, instead of 3,800 hours, I have 1,800 hours. I've lost 2k hours. So not good. And the current algorithm, it's just absolutely basically killing me. I have noticed some creators started posting their videos after this algorithm change without any tags. I'm not sure if I don't mind showing you. It's not like something that would be super secretive. I can share some stuff with you. I don't mind that. So let me show you my studio. And if you look at the content which I have, so I can see the views, I can see the comments, I can see the likes, dislikes. So what makes me happy, to be honest, even though when I don't have that many views, but I really appreciate that people like the videos. So I'm really happy about that. And again, on this spot, I have to thank all of you, because I know that you are regularly watching everything. So, and Olivia, by the way, you can say there is already something prepared. But you can see basically here that if I open a vid, for example, the last one from today, and I scroll down, there's like the information regarding the vid, and there's a section which is saying like tags. And basically the tags were helping you to have your video easier, like to be Googled. I don't know how else to put it. So based on these tags, first of all, the algorithm knew to which audience to offer the video. And then also when people were Googling, for example, I don't know, Project Skyline, then technically your video would appear in the videos which are being like shown in the Google results. Of course, you are number 3,376 because the other ones, the bigger creators will be in front of you listed, but you are still there. Okay, so the tags used to help, but now with the latest change in the algorithm, I think the tags no longer play absolutely any role, like zero, no role at all. Like I have noticed some creators like have this empty currently. Even creators that used to like post tags and it helped them to promote their vid in the algorithm, at least like to direct the algorithm to the right audience. Currently, I have noticed that a lot of people stopped using the tags, and actually, I think they gain more traction without the tags than they did with the tags. Snakish is a good example. For example, I have noticed that she's not posting any tags. By the way, you can see it if you have this vidIQ, so you can see the other people's tags as well. It's not like secret information. It's available if you have the right tools. And I have noticed that she's also not posting any tags, and she's now gaining more and more and more subscribers. By the way, I'm very happy for that, because I know that a while back when we started to talk, she only had like 35 or 38 subscribers, and she wasn't really that happy with how the channel was evolving. And by now she has like over 200 subscribers. So yeah, that's the channel from Snakish. And I'm really happy that she's like gaining more and more traction. And if you look at it also, like she's made some vids. Sure, these are like popular topics, so it will be more promoted in the algorithm than something that's not that popular. And for her, it's absolutely fantastic to have like 5.3k views and 5.2k views. And I think that's also the reason why she's now gaining more subscribers. Of course, you have to make good content, and she's making good content with great editing, so that's the reason first and foremost. But if you can make good bits as good as you want to, if the algorithm is not going to promote your videos and not going to provide and show it to people, then you're not going to get that many views, and you're not going to get the subscribers and the watch hours in the end. So I think it started to help her when she started to post without any tags. And I think I might do the same and see like how the videos will be promoted. So back to your question. Yeah, I'm currently like basically in the middle of the hours, and it's not looking good, because I've lost so many hours from like the last 365 days, and currently with the new algorithm, with my vids being barely promoted, I just have no chance in like at least offsetting the loss of the hours, you know. If last year around this time, like during this week, I have made, I don't know, 60 hours, which I'm now currently going to lose by the end of this week. I would have to make at least 60 hours this week to offset it, not to lose them, not even to speak about like gaining new hours. And unfortunately, I'm not even able with the new algorithms to even offset it, because as you could see on some of the bits, I have like really very low views. And when I was looking at the impressions, but Gaming Birch, you will know it because you have also a channel. And by the way, we need to promote your channel a little bit too, so I'm going to show it. As you know, it's not so easy if you have like low impressions to gain the views, the subs, and the watch hours. And the impressions, that's something that solely is YouTube's algorithm or YouTube's doing, right? You cannot influence it. If they decide not to promote your video and not give impressions to the people, so impressions meaning show it to as many people as possible, then you can do whatever you want, but you are not going to get the views and the watch hours. So currently, unfortunately, I have noticed when I was comparing the impressions, I'm not really getting that many impressions, so I cannot expect wonders. And that means for me currently losing hours instead of gaining. So unfortunately, that's the truth, the reality. Yeah. Yeah, Gaming Birch is saying, I was just typing it's copyright infringement, but they don't mind because it's a free ad. Yeah. Excited for all the gaming content, Olivia. Thank you. I mean, I hope that you like all the other vids about the other games as well, which I'm currently doing. So I'm trying to do like cover various games and various topics and just share my thoughts on some of those things. So I still hope that you have some fun watching those. And John is saying you had a lot of views during Failguard. Yes, that one. So it was a combo with the vids that I've made previously, like the modding guide, like the Horizon review, and some other reviews as well were, like the review vids were doing really well. And then, of course, during the Dragon Age Failguard era, around this time last year, I think it released on Halloween last year. So, yeah. Every video that was made about it gained like thousands of views and had a huge like watch time increase. So, and that's something that I'm currently going to lose. I mean, I did expect some of the loss. I did explain it also in my vid. I did expect to lose some of the hours, so that was not surprising. What was rather surprising to me was how much because of the algorithm. So if the algorithm, let's say, wouldn't have been changed and would continue to be the same way as it was before, then I would have lost, let's say, about 500 hours, which I would then have to make up for with new bits. Okay, but currently the change in the algorithm is just like, it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, and even if you are making bits about current like trending topics and you are covering maybe some stuff that the others are not that much mentioning, you still don't get the impressions and you still don't get the views. So that's why I was thinking about like completely getting rid of the tags, for example, because I think the algorithm will then automatically try to offer the videos to, let's say, the core audience or the last audience that it's been offered to, and not just like trying to find a new audience based on the tags. I don't know. So I might need to experiment with it, but currently I'm very far off from the monetization. I do have the necessary subscriber count, and again, thanks to all of you guys. I really, really appreciate all of you. I'm not saying it often enough, but I'm really like super happy seeing that more than 2,000 people like what I'm doing. So it's for me like, wow. But I just don't have the hours, and it goes hand in hand with the impressions. So yeah. It's nice that you don't flog drama for views. No, no, that's not what I want to do with this channel. That's something that I have seen a lot of other like channels doing. They are focusing like just on the drama aspect. I'm not saying I'm not like sometimes posting some speculations, like it was, for example, for Horizon, where I was just speculating simply who could be the best cast or the best director. But I'm trying to do it like in how should I say, reality-based manner. And I'm not trying to, post a video with certain types of titles. When I see already certain types of titles, I'm just like, oh no, from my perspective as a viewer, like, no, not again this. It's like this really, how do you call these journalists that are just like posting drama stuff, and they have like this kind of titles, what's it called? Like clickbaity titles, drama, clickbaity, and then when you click on the article or the video, it's just like something where you hear 2 minutes of real information and 10 minutes of drama, and some made-up nonsense. So I don't know what's it called. It has a name. I just forgot it now. I don't like this style. Okay, I don't like this style of whether it's journalism reporting or whether it's like videos. It's just like clickbait for me, and I just don't want to go that way. So not going to do this with my channel, to be honest. Olivia is saying, I hate the YouTube requirements. It's so annoying. So someone that's made videos on and off in the past, so you have made as well. So you know what I'm talking about. And it's the problem is that even if you are making some great content, I'm not saying that I necessarily make completely great content, there are better people there, but even if you're trying to like do very good content, you play around with the editing, you want to add some value to the information that you are providing, so you are trying to do a good research, spend a lot of time on writing a script and stuff like that, and then you see just a few views. It's demotivating. It's kind of demotivating, I will be honest. Yeah, so you have to like go through it and just tell yourself, nah, I'm going to continue. For me, it's first and foremost, for me, it's like a creative outlet. I like the process of making the vids. For me, it's a good creative outlet. I really like that. But naturally, I also love to see the feedback. So I'm really happy for every single comment that I get, because I see people, chiming in with their thoughts. And sometimes they give me a different perspective on certain things, and I really appreciate that. I really like that. So not having this simply because the algo is just burying your vids somewhere, it's not so great. Yeah. Let me see. The chat is alive. I love that. Thank you all for being here, for posting the stuff. It's really fun to going through this. Gaming Birch is saying, Snackish Raccoon gonna check it, please. Yes, she has great vids. She has like good takes on topics. Basically, she's also like sharing her thoughts on some of the games and some of the topics that are like going on currently in the gaming industry. So definitely check out her channel. I stopped relying solely on YouTube algorithm and tried posting my videos elsewhere, e.g. on Reddit, much more traffic from there. I do have to agree with you. I don't post them necessarily on Reddit, but I do, let's say, make ads for my vids on X. There's a ton of people who are also like following, let's say, YouTubers, and every time when I look at my stats, I can see that there is a portion of the views on YouTube coming like from outside, and you can also see it specified there. It didn't used to be in the past, but now I think you can also even see like from which sites it's the biggest traffic coming in. And for me, I have noticed that there is a portion of the views coming from X, so it does make sense for me definitely to let's say promote my videos on X. Absolutely. So, and I don't even have like a bigger following on X. I have like 200 people who are following me. So, and it's still worth posting it there. So I do have traffic from there. So yeah, like you're saying, it's good also like to promote elsewhere, not just on YouTube. And Olivia is saying, absolutely tuning into new stuff, looking forward to the next few months, because I'm sure the Game Awards will bring even more topics to discuss. Yes, definitely. I will be covering that. And also, like, whenever we have some topics like what's currently going on in the industry, I'm definitely going to cover some of the stuff. Gaming Birch is saying, regarding the hours, I was playing your videos on repeat during work, that's background, but 2K hours, I'll do what I can. No. Okay. Are you crazy? No. Okay. Thank you. I have to say big thank you, but you don't really have to do this. That is awesome. Okay. Now I know where my hours are coming from. You surprised me, but it was really a nice surprise. You make me cry almost. Damn. Thank you. I'll do what I can. Okay, thank you seriously to all of you, everyone on the stream and everyone who's watching my vids. Like really, really thank you very much for being here. I cannot say it often enough. It's really great to see that there are people who are like enjoying what I'm creating. And Gaming Birch, I feel the same about clickbait titles. It's everywhere now. I lost count how many times I saw something like AAA studios have been exposed. Yeah, exposed, yes, in the last couple of months, all from the same channel. Yeah, and also what I have noticed, and especially because I'm using the term as well, but for me it's like more making fun of it. You see certain channels posting like everything woke is now dead, and then a month passes. No, woke is not dead yet. Then another month passes. Woke is dead completely, definitely, right now. 2 months pass again. Woke is still not dead. Some studios are still there. Some devs are still there, you know, in relation to the gaming industry. And then again, the same channel going back and forth, just making like big clickbait drama titles. Woke is dead, and then no, woke is not yet dead. And every time when I'm seeing stuff like that, I'm like, come on, can you not do a video about something else? So yeah, it's some of the channels are very like one-sided. As you said, I just roll my eyes and think again. Yes. And John is saying, yeah, stuff like Tetris is the most gay-coded game ever. Exactly. This is the best and this is the worst. Yeah. Clickbaity titles. Good. Let me now when we have talked about it, let me show you. We have Gaming Birch here, who does have a YouTube channel. At least I hope you are still like working on the channel. And we can see you have 671 subscribers. And we have, I think, the same amount of videos. You have gained subs since we have last time talked. So that's great. It's awesome to see that you are gaining as well subs. Congrats. That's good. I have to watch your vids too now on repeat, running them in the background. But yeah, I really appreciate that you are like covering Exodus, and that's what I want to mention to everybody who's not familiar with the channel. I think I haven't even finished reading the book yet. I know I'm bad at this, but there's just no time. But what I like on the channel here is that Gaming Birch is covering a lot also like from the books and comparing like maybe some information from the on the book, the original book. Now it will be 2. That's why I'm saying books, because I keep thinking about the second. And it is also in the news I'm going to show you. A lot of the creators on YouTube, which I have seen posting some vids, are focusing very much on the game. And if they are mentioning something about the book or the original like source material, it's not in very much in depth. And what I like on the channel here is that Gaming Birch is clearly having gone through the book and talking about the impressions from the book as well, and comparing like what could be done in the game. So I do like this view, which is combining not just the game, but also talking about the book. And yes, I have noticed you also made a vid actually about the next novel. So does the novel spoil the game's story? Okay, I have to watch that vid now. So check it out. There's the channel, another channel that might be interesting for you if you don't know it yet. I absolutely would appreciate if you check out the channel in case you are looking forward to Exodus. That's the channel to go to. So let me go back to your chat. From now on, I will pronounce woke as Sisa does. Okay. I know my pronunciation is not always the best, but yeah. I paid for an ad as we talked earlier this year. Okay, good. So it did pay off. It did pay off. And that's also something that again, it's not a secret. When I thought that I'm going to hit the threshold of 4,000 hours, and I was very, 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 very shortly before that, you have the option to like promote your video on YouTube. Of course, you have to pay for it, but you can like promote it, and then it gets out to more people and you get more impressions. And I didn't have enough subs back then, so I thought, okay, I'm going to have like 4K hours very soon, but I don't have like enough subscribers. So I did say, okay, I might pay for like a promotion on a video just so it gets out to more people and people get aware of the channel. And I did fulfill exactly what I wanted. So I got the video out to more people, and more people subscribed after this promotion. So that is also a way how to, let's say, get your channel out naturally. It's not a problem, but the way how it works, if you are promoting a video, then all of the views and all of the watch hours from that, because you're basically paying for it, from the paid video are not going to be counted towards your monetization. So it doesn't help you with the watch hours. It just helps you like to push it out into the algorithm more and just to get more eyes on your channel. And then maybe more people will decide to subscribe. Again, this is something that's done voluntarily. It's not something that you are paying for. You are not paying for the subs as such. You're just paying for to having like more eyes on the channel, and then naturally people started to notice the channel more, and then I got the subscribers because people like the channel. So that's how you can gain a little bit of more subscribers, and that's what I also was talking about with Gaming Birch. I thought that I'm going to hit the threshold with this, unfortunately with the hours, and it didn't work out anyway. And then in the end the subscribers are already coming in so naturally on their own that I don't need to promote something just to gain subscribers. I have the natural growth already on the channel. It's just the watch hours, but again, that's depending on the impressions, and there's no way how you can influence that. It's the algorithm. You cannot pay for it because those watch hours would not be counted anyway, so nothing else to do than just make videos and hope for the best. Yeah. But it is very helpful if you are a small channel and small creator, and you just try to hit a certain threshold. Then if you're talking about subscribers, then it might be worth it. And don't imagine like huge amounts. It's like $20 or $50 or euros. That's, you don't have to like pay for more. You get a huge increase in impressions, and the people will come from those impressions to your channel. So it's not like you are paying I don't know how much. So it's not a huge amount, and it's helpful if you are trying to, let's say, gain the subscribers or get more channels, more eyes on the channel, like I said, because subscribers have to voluntarily subscribe. Olivia is saying, I still have to pre-order Exodus. I'm hoping we may get a release date for the beta at the Game Awards, and it could be a Baldur's Gate 3 thing where we can play a build in progress. That wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, that people can technically test it out, and they would also be able to gain some feedback from that. That's not a bad idea, actually. I'm just not sure in what extent they will be able to consider player feedback. Technically, if we are talking about Exodus, it's the Wizards of the Coast who are owning them, and I'm not sure if they are just like open to something like that. I would say they normally like. I don't want to say they don't listen to player feedback, but not in the development phase, probably. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not a bad idea. I would say definitely, but we're talking about the Wizards, so yeah, not sure if this would work out. Let me show you. Yeah, regarding Exodus, that's what I wanted to mention. So we had the on their page, I was showing this also in the vid, so there's the book again, so they're mentioning it will be coming out next June. So in case you haven't read the first one and you haven't finished reading the first one, I would definitely advise you to do that before the next book is coming out. I will be definitely buying the next one, even though I haven't finished the first one yet, but it's well written, I have to say, so I really like it. And what was there? What else was there? Exodus, I think, yeah, that was related to... people mentioning that there was an update on Exodus, but not really that much. But what I have noticed is also like 2026 video game. So it is definitely confirmed already that it's coming out next year. Question is exactly when. I'm very, very curious here. Because from the marketing point of view, as we mentioned already previously, they did kind of a weird marketing. They were very much focused on the tabletop part of the game, or the franchise, I would say, and they were heavily promoting it also in their videos, not that much the video game as such. And currently we have gotten some more information again during the Q&A, and now they again like pick up speed a little bit with promoting the game. So let's see. It says 2026, but whether it will be the start, the middle, or the end of the year, who knows. And what else was there? I think that's basically all that I have prepared for today. I don't really have that much more for the stream or for the topic, but I am really very happy that we discussed so much stuff. And I can see, Gaming Birch, but early access was kind of Larian thing already. Yeah, Larian is known also to listen to players' feedback a lot. I think they did it always with their games, that they did adjust the games before the release, or then once the games were released, they did make adjustments depending on the player feedback, and they created like let's say new version of the game. I think the Divinity Original Sin, the first one, that is a good example, that there was the original game that came out, and then there was a lot of feedback from the players on certain aspects of the game, and then they made what was it, the like some edition, like Divinity Original Sin something edition. I don't even remember anymore. It's a long time since I've played it. Even though it's a shame, I've made a review for it. I don't remember the name. Extended edition or something like that. So they made a new, let's say, version of the game, and they did change exactly the stuff that the players were like, I don't want to say complaining about, but where they were like proposing some improvements, let me put it that way. And they did change it, and they did improve that, so they are known for that. Release date for Exodus, I hope for June, pun intended. But realistically, I think end of the year. Yeah, the main character is called June, yeah. And John is saying, I think it's telling that in spite of Baldur's Gate 3 success, Larian parted ways with Wizards of the Coast. Yes, I think it is exactly because of the, let's say, oversight that the Wizards of the Coast is trying to have. I can't help myself. I have to go back to the books from Salvatore, The Legend of Drist. A huge fan. Reading the books for years, and I always loved the series. There were better books, there were, let's say, books that were not so fun for me to read. But overall, I was always looking forward to the next book and next book and next one. And then he reached a point, okay, he started to resurrect people who were already dead, and I was already like, okay, come on. I wasn't already happy about that. I'm not sure if you have read the series, but in case you are not familiar with it, so basically there's a main protagonist, and then you have, let's say, some companions that are always at his side. Naturally, because the main protagonist is an elf who has a long lifespan. The other companions are not. They will be dying sooner than him. And during the book series, the companions already died. And then he made next books and started to write the next books in the series, where he talked about Salvatore, I mean now the writer, where he talked about some adventures of the main protagonist, Drist in this case. I don't know how to pronounce him. I call him Drist. And he made some books where the original companions were no longer there, and he just introduced new companions. And I think he introduced people who were not so beloved as characters, and people were complaining, and they were not happy with it. And instead of, let's say, introducing other new characters with, let's say, different characteristics or personalities, instead what he did was resurrect the dead ones. And I was like, oh, come on. So that was the first thing which I didn't like. And then the whole premise of the series is that the Drist is coming from a race of dark elves who are inherently evil. And of course, because people were offended by it lately. I mean, he started to write the books way back when, so it's decades now. Way back when, people were not mixing up reality with fantasy, and they were not being offended by some imaginary race. Now, currently, unfortunately, people are. And what Salvatore mentioned, not directly, but in a couple of his interviews, he mentioned a little bit that technically Wizards of the Coast, because they have basically bought rights to his series, or they are the ones who have the rights to the series, they sort of, I won't say forced him, but they basically told him to soften certain things in the series and rewrite certain things in the series and write a little bit differently certain characters, and just not to offend some people. And the series started to evolve into a very sanitized version of this fantasy universe in which it was originally created, and I'm just no longer interested. So after a certain book, he always writes like a trilogy, so he writes 3 books which contain a separate small story with these characters in that universe, and then it's like a safe self-contained story, and then again 3 books about something, I don't know, a few years later, and then again 3 books. And after I finished one of these books, like after one of these trilogies, I just simply stopped buying the new books because I am no longer interested. He just started to change the lore of the entire universe so much that for me it's just like reading something completely different than I was used to, and I'm just no longer interested. So I did stop buying the games, and I do believe to a great extent Wizards of the Coast were responsible. He did never say it openly, he cannot, I understand that, but he mentioned some stuff in some of the interviews where if you are not stupid and you can read between the lines, you knew exactly what he's meaning. So basically he was forced to do some changes, and I'm not fond of that. Okay, that was regarding the Baldur's Gate 3 and Wizards of the Coast. And Olivia is saying, I was thinking about the Expanse too. I think the Expanse game is going a beta, but I hope Exodus would consider it unless it's too close to release. If they are planning the 2026 release, it's a question like how close we are to the release date. Like I said, whether it's at the start of the year or middle or somewhere at the end. If it's somewhere at the end of next year, I think they can still tweak some stuff based on the feedback. Nothing major though. I don't think that they can do anything major. I think they should focus on rather polishing the game, to be honest. Where are we? Yeah, draw. Or again, I know that the official pronunciation should be draw, like cow, And exactly that's what I don't like. For me, it's draw. So yeah, the different pronunciation, but simply because I never heard the words pronounced when I started to read the books. So when you're starting to read the books for the first time and you never hear the pronunciation and you only read the names, and naturally you are going to read them to what's closest to your natural pronunciation in your own language, and that's how you fix the pronunciation in your own head. So when you hear them later, the correct pronunciation, you're going to be like, no, I don't like it. No, mine is better. So for me, it's draw. He had input on Kingdoms of Amalur and Terra as well. Yeah. And Gaming Birch is saying, really, I loved Kingdoms of Amalur. No idea he was involved. Yeah, he was involved in a lot of other books. I think he's co-writing some other games and books and series with some other writers as well. I think he's writing more stuff, not just that, but I was just focusing on this series now. And Olivia is saying, I can't wait for 2026. Looks like it will be a great year for gaming. I agree with you. There's plenty of games coming out. Like I said, I just hope my PC will make it. And Gaming Birch is saying, as another Slavic, I can completely confirm the pronunciation stuff. Yeah, so just fix it in your head, and that's how it's pronounced. That's it. Yeah, that's basically it what I have prepared. And guys, looking at the time, I will have to say I will be slowly finishing. I know I did start a little bit late. Again, I do apologize, but it's almost 11 p.m. So just FYI for those of you who have a different time. And my doggos will need to go out, so I have to take them out. And they already started to stir here. I can hear them in the background. So they will be ready to go out soon, so I have to take them out. The first time I heard Colonel pronounced, I was stunned. Yes, a completely different pronunciation than how it's written. Yeah. Good. So from my side, like I said, that would be it. I'm really happy to have seen all of you here. And John is also saying new games. I bought Escape from... Okay, again, this was one fun part which I had a discussion on a Discord server. It's Dako, whatever it is, how it's called. There is a small village in Slovakia which is called Dučkov, and that's how I'm pronouncing it in my head. So yeah, that's again completely different pronunciation. So. But I have to check out the game because you are already like the fourth or fifth person who are mentioning this game, so I have to have a look at that one, definitely. Good. So thank you very much for being here. I really loved to see all of you here. It's so great to have made the stream, and again seeing and reading the chat messages from all of you. I will be definitely making a stream in November, and we'll see whether we have already by then the results from the gaming awards, the Joystick awards. And definitely I will think about some interesting new topics again for the stream. So for today, that would be it. Again, thank you for being here. It was really fun. I do hope that you did enjoy it too. And let's meet then next month in case you will have the time. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and have also good night for those of you who have night. And John, have a great rest of the day. Okay, so bye.